Welcome back to CBS News Texas on TXA 21. Legal battles and financial struggles have torn at the very fabric of community in Central Texas, all tied to something none of us will ever forget. July 4th will mark 1 year since deadly flooding hit the hill country. Well over 100 adults and children lost their lives. Tonight, our media partners at Texas Monthly are taking a look inside the shattered sisterhood at Camp Mystic. Peter Holley, he is the author of this article. He's joining us on this evening. Welcome, Peter. Let me ask you, you have, of course, followed some of these legal battles involving Camp Mystic, and you noticed some people wore certain colors to court to show their support or, in some regards, opposition to Camp Mystic. Can you talk about that and how else the divide within that community has become pretty evident there?
Sure thing. Yep. This court hearing a few weeks ago brought together people who want to close Camp Mystic down and people who want it to be reopened. The pro-Camp Mystic people wore the color green. Those who want to shut the camp down temporarily, at least to investigate what happened last summer, where they're wearing the color purple for the Heavens 27 families. Those are people who are supporting the families that want more investigation to what happened last summer.
We know to this very date, one child remains missing since last year's flood. But as you've noted in your article, more than 850 kids have reportedly already signed up in hopes of returning to that camp for the summer. Now, the Eastland family runs the camp. What did you learn when the Eastland family actually testified in court?
One of the big takeaways in court was that there was no clear evacuation plan in case of a flood. There was a plan for a wildfire. Camp Mystic has never had a wildfire, but there's been dozens of incidents when there's been flash floods that have put the camp at risk over the last century. We learned that, and it was a pretty shocking moment in court for a lot of people to realize that the Eastland family, who's been running the camp for this long, didn't have a clear plan to evacuate the camp in case of a massive flood.
Absolutely. Would you say essentially, or are we talking grief, camp traditions, maybe even some conspiracy theories being added to the rift between those who support or frankly oppose Camp Mystic operations right now?
Yeah, this is a very delicate fight. There's people on both sides who've been friends for decades. This is one of the most tightly knit communities in Texas, and now they're at at odds with one another. It's uncomfortable, and one of the ways it's being fueled is because of social media. People on either side of this debate are talking on social media. There's also been interactions in public and just discomfort all around. And when they came together in court, you could really sense that tension in the air. So this is a really painful fight for people on both sides.
Painful may be an understatement. So much tragedy with what happened there. You spoke with a young girl who survived last year's flooding. What has her journey towards healing essentially been like?
Yeah, I spoke to a 10-year-old little girl who barely survived last year's flood. One of the surprising things about those who want to go back to camp is that a lot of them are campers. A lot of them are people who barely survived the camp, and they feel like going back will reunite them with fellow campers who went through something similar and help them recover. Now, this is what the kids are saying, the kids who are part of the camp. The debate is really one among adults. The kids want to go back to heal. The adults are battling over whether that should happen or how it should happen.
Yeah, and a system that will reassure so many real concerned about the awful tragedy that happened a year ago. Our thanks, Peter. Thank you so very, very much. Again, Peter Holley, Texas Monthly, on tonight's discussion. You can read his entire article right now on TexasMonthly.com. CBS News Texas will be right back.